Assalamu alaikum, Sister Ankat.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, dear?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good.
Thank you.
The baby's asleep. I will hold him up so you can see him.
Oh, wow.
Next time. Huh?
I'd love to.
Yeah, next time. He's sleeping
Okay.
now, so. You been doing all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
That's good.
Um,
I'll give you a call maybe during the week, see how you're doing.
okay.
That's good. It's just us two on the line?
One more person.
Okay. Salam alaikum. Maybe they're on mute.
Walaikum assalam. How y'all sisters doing?
Well, how you, brother?
I'm doing all right. Just at work on the since I'm at work, I can't get on the video. I just call in.
Oh, no
Try
problem.
to get as much as I can.
No problem.
Congratulations on the baby.
Thank you, thank you. Praise be to Allah.
You're welcome. Praise be to Allah. All right, I'm gonna mute myself because it's gonna get kind of loud here when I start moving.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله وهو العلي العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Dia sering follow sering saya Imam Sheikh Ibra Fall Son Imam Jarabuso Borum Porakan. For all of the light beings gathered, we read Astaghfirullah Bihi for the purification of all negative thoughts, words, and actions and karmas as a gift to our beloved Sering Sayu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. For all of our mothers and our fathers and our children, and for all of those who wanted to be here today but could not make it. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammadin. Wa alihi wa sahbihi wa takabba min ali wa zakal karima kulita iban ilayka bi astaghfirullah bihi. One of the students has said that poetry is the way that they connect with Allah. Our master, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, was a master of poems. This is one of them. Astaghfirullah alladhi wa atub ilayhi min zawahirin wa min guyub. Astaghfirullah alladhi wa atub ilayhi min zawahirin wa min guyub. Sa'altuhu bihaqqi wa jalahi maghfiratan min jumlatil manahi. Tubtu lahu min jumlati sagairi ma'al kabairi wa min damairi. Ghafir likfir kulla ma taqaddama wa ma takhara wa ma baynahuma. Fahim li ilma wa zidni ilma wa amalan wa adaban wa fahma. Rabbi yakshifu ulama nafiya wa dahayati min shaka'in maniya. اكشف لي الأسوار والقوامدا يا خير من كشاف بصيرا قامدا نجمات ما تفرق اللدى خاتي من الخري والسافل الخلدا لكل دا تفخر الأضم يا ربي بكم متسما كلاميا قبلي يا أكرم في التلاوة خيرا كثيرا منك والهلاوة بارك لي اللهم في حياتي واجعل فؤادي وتنال حياتي هب لي قولي بشرى كل من يتوب ولي ظواهر أبين مع الغيوب قبولا نكون به ظهيرا من الذنوب والمعاصي والآفات حتى أدخل الجنة التي وعد منتكم برحمتك يا رحمن يا رحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله وهو العلي العظيم. الفاتحة 4 times. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم Sirata Latina Namtalehim, Garil Makdubi Alehim, Waladolin Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. Weird of the butterfly. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, 66 times. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Man, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, 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 Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, 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 Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Hey, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, 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 Ya Rahim. وإلهكم إله وحيد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم. Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, 66 times. Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, 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 Ya Aziz, Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz. Allahu latifun bil ibadihi yarzuqu man yasha'u wa huwa al-qawiyul aziz. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum 66 times. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, 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 Ya Qayyum, Ya Hayyu 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 Ya Qayyum. Alif Lam Mim, Allahu La ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Ya Wadud, Ya Allah 66 times. Ya Wadud, Ya Allah, 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 Ya Allah, Ya Wadud, 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 Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Wadud, 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 Ya Allah. Wa alkaitu alayka mahabatan mini. La ilaha illallah, 66 times. Allah is the only reality. La ilaha illallah, 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 la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, 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 la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, 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 la ilaha illallah. Take a deep breath. Salatul Fatih. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Al-Fatihi lima uglika, wal-Katimi lima sabaka, Nasir al-Haqi bil-Haqi wal-Hadi ila siratika mustaqim, wa ala alihi haqqa qadrihi wa miqdar al-azim al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. Waladolin. Amin. Barke Sering Salim. Barke Sering Salim. Barke Sering Salim. Barke Sering Salim. Barke Sering Salihu. Barke Sering Salihu. Barke Sering Salihu. Amin, amin, amin. Let's see who we have in the beloved cipher on this morning. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum. In the hip-hop world, we say, you love to hear the story again and again, how it all got started way back when. That is MC Shan. Bismillah, we tell these stories because they have to be told over and over again so that The stories can be passed down. The story is a part of the teaching. Sufis are storytellers. We will go into the story of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and his exile because we are in the Magal season. And we say Magal season because Murid Sadiq, or true disciples, in our way we have what's called the Murid. Everyone who takes their bayat is a Murid. Murid means disciple of the Sheikh. Murid means one who has the willpower to reach Allah. Murid coming from irada. Irada means willpower. Mu, one who. So all of us who took our bayat, we are murid, disciples, but those who have the intention to journey to Allah. So everyone is a murid, but in this path, you may become a murid sadiq. The murid sadiq, like Sheikh Sadiq Bey, who is here, true murid sadiq. The murid sadiq is a true disciple of the Sheikh. And it's said in the holy city of Tuba, murid sadiq, they definite. Dafa khal defi. Kubu nek murid sadiq. Dafa definite. Jefe means difficult. Kubuga nek murid sadiq. Whoever wants to be a true disciple, defa definite. It's difficult. It's not easy to be a true disciple. But true disciples of the Sheikh, before the day of the Magal, yig yig, we feel it. Yig yig is a great Wolof word. You might want to write this down. Yig yig. Yig yig. Yig yig is a feeling that you can feel the presence of this holy day coming. Sheikh Ibn Fall says, Samayon yig yig la. Samayon yig yig yig. Sheikh Ibn Fall, the Bifal say, the way of the Bifal is yig yig. You feel this. So the true disciples, we feel the Magal, the presence of this holy day coming, sometimes a week in advance. I remember when I was in the Dar in Tuba, Indianapolis at Disciples, a week before the Magal, we would be together at the coffee shop drinking coffee. The Magal is here. You feel it? Yeah, I feel it. I feel the Magal. The Magal comes on the 18th of Safar on the Islamic calendar, which will be celebrated tomorrow, Labor Day, which is interesting because the Magal is a celebration of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's labor, his khidmah for the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. So tomorrow will be Labor Day in the West, but khidmah means labor, to do some work. So we're celebrating the work of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba for the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam on his exile, the 18th of Safar. Now I want to give a good explanation of this because there's not many in English online. So the Magal of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, actually what we call the Grand Magal, because there's many Magals in Tuba. In Tuba, there may be a Magal means to glorify Allah. Yig yig, something you feel. Hip hop is real, is something you feel, common. Magal means to glorify Allah. Magal means to give thanks to Allah. So in Tuba, there's a Magal every month this about. Many sheikhs have a Magal to glorify Allah for their day of leaving the body. In Tuba, there's many Magals. We celebrate the day that some of the sheikhs have left their body. There's a Magal for Sirin Falu, Magal for Sheikh Ibra Fall, Magal for Sirin Salihu, Magal for Sona Astu Gawan, daughter of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, Magal for Sheikh Murtada, Magal for Sheikh Abdul Ahad, all the Magals in Tuba for the celebration of the leaving of the body of the Sheikh. This Magal is called the Grand Magal of Tuba because it's the biggest Magal in Tuba, and it's not to celebrate the death of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. The Magal of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is to celebrate his exile. Okay? Generally, when you have a spiritual leader, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was a political revolutionary. He was fighting against the French colonialists who had colonized Senegal and most of West Africa at that time. And during that time in West African history, the French colonialists, I stopped for a lot, they even call it French West Africa. Do not start cursing in class today, Sufi. How they go, these people, these French West Africa, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Africa for the Africans is what Marcus Garvey said. So when the French had colonized West Africa, their mission was to bring Christianity and stop out and remove Islam from West Africa. The people in Senegal say that if it wasn't for the spiritual jihad, if it wasn't for the spiritual warfare of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, the Senegalese people say the French would have stamped out Islam in Senegal, period. Because the French colonialists and their military were assassinating, executing the spiritual leaders in Senegal, West Africa. If you were a sheikh who was propagating the faith of Islam in Senegal, the French would execute you, one, or they would call you to court and have you sign some papers saying that Allah is not God and Islam is not the true way. What's amazing is a lot of the spiritual leaders that the French people called to the courtroom in St. Louis, when they presented them with the documents to sign denying Islam, because they knew their life was in danger, there's a verse in the Quran that says, if your life is in danger, you can do something that's prohibited by Allah to save your life. Example, if you somewhere and it ain't no food, Allah protect us, and the only food you have to eat is pork or you'll die, Islam says you better eat that pork. Because in a life-threatening situation, Quranic law says it's okay to do something that you wouldn't do if it wasn't a life-threatening situation. So the sheikhs before Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, some of them, when they came to court, they signed the document saying, if I don't sign this, they're going to kill me like they did Mahmoud, or they're going to exile me like they did Sheikh Ahmed. So a lot of the sheikhs, they signed the document in the courtroom in St. Louis. The sheikhs that did not sign the document, they were exiled to Gabon, and none of them came back from Gabon. The French assassinated and killed every sheikh that they exiled, and they never came back to Senegal. So this was the climate of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba during this time period in Senegal. The French had been writing several letters to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba had founded the city of Tuba by this time. Disciples were coming to live with him in the holy city of Tuba. For students who are serious, the paradigm of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba would travel to a isolated location. He would stay there, build a city. When people would come, he would leave and go somewhere else and do the exact same thing over again. The paradigm of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, wherever he went, and we need to keep this in mind, wherever Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba went, he did two things. The first thing he did was establish the worship of Allah, he would build a mosque to worship. The second thing Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba did immediately was he would start growing food and farming. We as disciples in the West, we can take his model and in our lives, in our homes, one, establish a place of worship in your house for the prayer, the zikr, what I call a sacred space. Every house should have a sacred space, whether it's a chair that you sit in to read your prayers, whether it's a room with candles and incense and prayer. Every home should have a sacred space. And based on Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's model, every home should be growing some type of food. We got away from that. Back in the day, we owned all the farms and we were growing all the food. We gave up the farms, went to the cities, got jobs, and had to buy food from somebody else. You already had the food, Brother Jackson. So we should think about this model of establishing prayer in our house and growing food. If you cannot grow food in your backyard or something, be a part of a food co-op. Get in touch with people growing food, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked us a question: why does he fear now that he's a grown man? The answer was he has fear because the devil taught him to eat the wrong foods. So let's get back on the subject of the exile of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was in the city of Tuba. The French government, the military, was writing him summons to come to the court. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was ignoring their summons. He never went to the court. He was like, Allah is the king of the world, we just subjects. He never went to court on the order of the French army. They wrote him letters. He never answered any of the letters. Around this same time, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was seeking for the highest station. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was seeking for a station called Khadim Rasul. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba has a few names. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is his name. In his qasides, he says, my name is Abdullah, servant of Allah. We also call him Serene Tuba. Anytime you hear someone talking about Serene Tuba, that's Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Serene means spiritual guide. Tuba, he's the founder of Tuba. Tuba, the word Tuba is in the Holy Quran twice. Tuba is for those who are blessed, is what the Quran says. Also, Tuba is the largest tree in heaven. The Prophet Muhammad salam, in the hadiths, all the Muslims, Sunni Muslims, Shiite Muslims, you hear the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad salam. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said, the biggest tree in heaven is called the tree of Tuba. This tree grows upside down from the throne of Allah. The tree is so big that a branch from this tree of Tuba in heaven is in every window of the houses of Jannah, of heaven. This is what the Prophet Muhammad salam has said to describe this tree of Tuba. So on earth as it is in heaven, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba knew of this hadith of the tree of Tuba. He set out to find Tuba on earth, and this is the city of Tuba that we have today that he established. That's a whole nother story of how he established this city of Tuba. We will have to tell that again. But while he was in the city of Tuba, he was seeking for the station of Khadim Rasul. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba says in his qasides, call me Abdullah, servant of Allah, or call me Khadim Rasul. Khadim, worker, servant, Rasul for the Prophet Rasulullah Muhammad salam. He was seeking that station of Khadim Rasul, the privileged servant of the Prophet. So he put himself into a retreat, a spiritual khalwa, Arabic word khalwa. We have these four enemies, nafs, hawa, dunya, shaitan. Dunya is the material world. We learned that Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba says to defeat the dunya, attraction to the matrix, the material world, we should do a khalwa. We should retreat from the world. And the Sheikh says in our retreat, we should have some knowledge that we study and spiritual practices that we are doing. So in his attempt to reach that station, he made his intention to do a khalwa, a spiritual retreat, in a small room. The room is in the holy city of Tuba called Darul Qudus. You can visit Darul Qudus. You can go to see the room that Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was in. And I went to that room, and I tell you, you can still feel the presence of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba in the room, family. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was in the room for 5 years. Hear me now. That's what the Rasta say, astaghfirullah. Hear what I'm saying right now. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba put himself into a small room that you can go visit. They may open the door and let you in. I'll tell my story of what happened when we went, but Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba locked himself in the room for 5 years. He only came out of the room to lead the prayer in the mosque they built across from the room. So they had a small hut where the Sheikh was in. They built a small mosque right outside of where he was in retreat in the place called Darul Qudus. I've been there several times. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba will come out of the room in the morning and lead the morning prayer in the mosque. He would go back into the room. He would come out around 1 o'clock, lead the prayer in the mosque. He would go back in the room. He came out and led the 5 prayers. He'd go back in the room. He did this for 5 years. Nobody knew when he was going to come out of this retreat. Now, when I went to the room, maybe around 1998, 1999, I used to go to synagogue once a year on my summer vacations. I was bringing disciples from Indianapolis, Indiana. We were taking trips from Indianapolis, Indiana to the city of Tuba with groups of people back in the day. On this trip, there was about 7 of us who went, 8 maybe. Nice group trip to Tuba. When we went to the place where Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was on retreat to see this holy place, the old man opened the room, and all of us went into a room that has Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's personal belongings in it. Oh my. Prayer beads from Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, prayer rugs of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's shoes. One crazy guy took Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's shoes, started licking his shoes. I was like, man, you're doing too much. His name was Ibrahim. I remember Ibrahim. He grabbed Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's, licking it. I was like, bruh, I ain't no killer, but don't push me. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba had books, chests of his writings in there. Now, I had a mystical experience in the room. I love to tell a story. It could be told in the future. When I was in the room with the disciples from America, I was not at the station of Sheikh. I was the student. We were in the room. Everybody was touching all his stuff. And I said to myself, oh no, I'm the dirty American. I'm not touching none of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's belongings. I'm too dirty. I was like, I ain't touching none of this. As soon as I said that, the lights went off in the place and something pushed me from the back. I fell out on the floor on all his stuff. As soon as I jumped out, I said, oh, the lights came back on in the room. True unbelievable stories of Cheikh Sufi Ba. The lights went out, something pushed me from the back. I fell out on the ground, touching all this, and came, oh! Yeah, I drank the tea. So he did this for 5 years. During the 5th year of his retreat, when he went to lead the prayer in the mosque, the Prophet Muhammad, salam, Abu Bakr, Omar, Uthman, and Ali, they came to visit Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba in the mosque in broad daylight in front of people. Muslims don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Prophet Muhammad is buried in the holy city of Mecca. No, Prophet Muhammad is buried in Medina. How Prophet Muhammad gonna come to this village in Africa and see the Sheikh in broad daylight in front of witnesses? They had a conversation in the mosque. The Prophet Muhammad told Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, the station of Qadim Rasul that you are seeking from Allah. Listen, Prophet Muhammad told Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, what you are seeking from Allah, you cannot get that from retreat and prayers. He said the only way you can get that station is you will have to leave this city of Tuba and go through trials and tests to get that station you're seeking. This is when Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said to the Prophet Muhammad, salam, for the love that I have for you, I can undergo any test and trial. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba told the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said, my goal is to be with you, Muhammad, at all times. My goal that I'm seeking is to be with you, the Prophet Muhammad, like the companions of Badr, like Abu Bakr, Omar, Uthman, and Ali. I want to be with you, Prophet Muhammad, at all times. Prophet Muhammad said, the companions of Badr got that privilege to be with me at all times from fighting in jihad, and told him there's no more jihad to be fighting in. So the only way you can get that station, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, is to go into, to leave the city of Tuba and go through tests and trials. This is when Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba left the holy city of Tuba and went to meet the French army to go to the courtroom so he could be exiled to Gabon. Do you see the divine plan? When Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba came to the courtroom in St. Louis, the French colonialists thought he was answering their summons to come to court. They did not know he was using the French army to go to exile, to go through the tests and trials that he would go through in Gabon for 7 years to get the station of Qadim Rasul. Let me stop right here. Does anybody have any questions about what we said before we go deeper into this beautiful story? Anybody have any questions or comments about what we said?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I did have a question about, I think it's called Magal.
Magal, yes.
Magal. Does this apply for instance, like Sheikh Rumi, or do they also?
Yeah, for Rumi, they have, for Sheikh Rumi, Jalaluddin, they call it the Urs. The Urs. In India, Turkey, and Pakistan, they don't call it Magal.
Okay.
They call it the Urs of the Sheikh. So in Turkey, they celebrate the Urs of Jalaluddin Rumi. They celebrate the Urs of Sheikh Nazim al-Haqqani, the Urs of Hazrat Inyad Khan, the Urs of El Haji Baktashi. These Sufi masters in Turkey, Pakistan, and India, they do celebrate their lives. They celebrate they call it the marriage ceremony. when a sheikh of a Sufi order dies in certain countries, they don't call it the death of the sheikh, they call it the day of his marriage with his beloved.
Mm-hmm.
And they celebrate the marriage of the sheikh with Allah on the day that they left the body. They don't call it Magal. Magal is an African word. They call it the Urs of the sheikh. So yes, that's a great question. They definitely celebrate the Urs of Jalaluddin Rumi every year in Turkey for sure.
Thank you.
Great question. Anybody else have questions? I love questions. Okay, so we're at the place in the story where Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba went to meet the French army. At the, you could say it's a palace at the house, the big palace, the residential courthouse in the city of St. Louis. Now, I've been to the city of St. Louis, and I went to the courthouse where Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was. We went into the courtroom. It's very dusty, but we went across some water on some rocks, went up this old staircase, went on top of the building where the courtroom was. We went in the courtroom. We went there. We did that. So you can go to these holy places. You can go in the footprints of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and where he walked. We went to the courthouse. As a matter of fact, every year in St. Louis, the capital of Senegal at that time was called St. Louis. The courthouse of the French colonialists was in that city of St. Louis. Every year in celebration of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba going to court, the Bifal and disciples have a Magal in St. Louis where they go to the courtroom and pray in the courtroom. They still go there once a year to celebrate. And they call it the Magal of the Nyari Rakats, the glorification of 2 rakats, because the French said Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was different than anybody else who came in the courtroom. When Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba came in the courtroom for trial to stop teaching Islam, he told Sheikh Ibrahim threw water on the floor and cleaned the area. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba put a prayer rug in the courtroom, said Allahu Akbar, and prayed 2 rakats to Allah in the courtroom where they were calling him to tell him to stop teaching Islam. So that was a message to the French. You called me to tell me stop teaching Islam. I'm gonna come in your courtroom and say Allahu Akbar, and I'm gonna pray in your courtroom. I don't know, in your face like a can of mace. I don't know who you think I am, but I ain't like these other sheikhs. I ain't gonna bow down to you devils. While he was in the courtroom, the judge told Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, you have to salute the French flag. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba wouldn't look at the flag. The judge said, Sheikh, you have to salute the French flag. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba refused to look at the flag. The 3rd time, it's always the 3rd time, judge told Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, salute the French flag. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba told the judge through a translator, and it must have been powerful, because Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba told the judge, if I salute the flag of France today, from today, the government of France will start to fall and France will never come back up again if I salute this flag. The government of France gonna fall. Sheikh Ibra fall. The judge told Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, okay, don't salute the flag. He must have said it in a way that the judge said, the audacity of this man dressing all white telling me my government gonna fall if he salute this flag. Maybe I better not have him salute this flag. So today we're going into the details of the story that we don't usually go into. They brought the papers to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba to sign. saying Islam is not real, Muhammad is not a prophet. They sat him down, they called him. Sheikh Bamba said to the people in the courtroom, you have to bring another chair. They said, why? Sheikh Bamba said, I'm not going to sit down in a chair where lies were told. Meaning, he knew the sheikhs who sat before him in that chair lied and said Islam was not the true way of life. When he sat down, they brought him the ink and the pen. Back then, it was a pen that you dip in the ink and write. Sheikh Bamba said, you have to bring me a new pen and new ink. They said, why? He said, I'm not going to write with a pen that told lies. Just think about he in the courtroom telling the judge what to do. They brought him a new chair. They brought him the new inkwell and the feather to dip to write. They gave him the paper. On the paper, Sheikh Bamba wrote, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Kul hu Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul hu kufuwan ahad. On the paper, they told him the sign saying Islam was not true. He wrote in Arabic, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, say Allah is one. Allah is eternal and absolute. Allah begets not, nor is Allah begotten, and there's nothing like Allah. He wrote a surah on the paper and gave it to him. That's when they said, nah, this man crazy. We're not going to exile him. We're going to kill him immediately. They put him in a cell for 3 days and starved a lion for 3 days. They took Sheikh Bamba, put him in the room with the lion that they had starved for 3 days, locked him in there. They were sure that the lion would maul and kill the sheikh. After 3 days, when they opened the door, they found the sheikh praying, and the lion jumped out of the room on the French soldiers. Another trial that we don't get to talk about too much, you can go to the place where it happened. They took Sheikh Bamba to a small street court, a small street in St. Louis. They put the sheikh at the end of the street. They let loose a raging bull to charge the sheikh and kill the sheikh. Eyewitnesses said as the bull was charging towards Sheikh Bamba, the bull lifted up into the sky. And they never saw the angel Jibril came and lifted the bull up into the heavens. They never saw the bull again. The stuff with Sheikh Bamba is metaphysical, is damn near biblical. We're just telling the story today. We're not watering it down. Some of you might say this is too much. I'm going to tell a story I don't normally like to tell. They built a Chinese torture chamber to kill Sheikh Bamba. This is before the exile. Who knows what a Chinese torture chamber is? You've seen the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang Clan movies. Damn you. You think your Kung Fu, you think your Zikr is better than mine. What's a Chinese torture chamber? Anybody know?
Bismillah.
Who was watching the Shaolin movie? What is it?
Alhamdulillah is the thing where it's basically like 2 doors, and when you close it, it spikes on either side, right?
Is that yes? They built that for Sheikh Bamba. It was like a coffin with 2 doors, and they had knives and daggers in there, so when they close it, it kills you. They told me this story in the holy city of Tuba in 1996-97. I can't forget this story. They said, this is what they told me. I'm not making this up. In Europe, it's called the Iron Maiden. So these people, they knew about this. Thank you, Sheikh Rahim Ba. They knew about this to kill prisoners. So they built one for Sheikh Bamba. Sheikh Bamba said as soon as he stepped in it, he said a dagger went through his foot. They closed him in the chamber. This is what the disciples told me. It sounds unbelievable. They said Sheikh Bamba was in there for 3 days, and they said he was still making salat. What did they say? They say he was moving his eyes like this for the prayer. Lord, 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 man, y'all like, these people is nuts. This is what they told me. They said Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's Mom Jarabuso, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's mom, holy woman, they said she came into the Iron Maiden, she came into the Chinese torture chamber. She came in there with the Sheikh and told him, my son, what are you doing in here? You have a mission to go in exile. You have to leave this place and go to exile. They said Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba kicked the door open and came out. The French was like, how are we gonna kill this man? We don't know. This is when they decided to exile the Sheikh. The day that they decided to exile him on the solar calendar is tomorrow, September the 4th. But on the Islamic calendar, which is based on the moon, it will be the month of Safar, the 18th of Safar. Okay? So this is what we are celebrating, his exile. Now, he was going into exile to reach the station of Khadim Rasul, is what we were taught. When Sheikh Ahmadou, 1 and 8 is 9. All right now. All right. Sheikh Sadiq wa Aisha, by fall, Dervish in the building. He was going into exile to get the station of Khadim Rasul, the worker for the Rasul. But we noticed something very interesting about the details of the story. There was a plank, you know, back in the day to go to even today, to board a ship, you have to walk across a plank to board the ship. The French reported something very different about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. The French said that any other prisoner that they exiled, when they got to board the ship, they would turn around to the audience and ask the people gathered there, please pray for me so that I can come back. The sheikhs would be fearful as they were boarding that boat to go into exile, because they knew all the other sheikhs who boarded the boat, none of them came back to Senegal. So the sheikhs would turn to the crowd who gathered to see the sheikh being exiled and say, please pray for me so that I can come back to this country. The French said that when Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was boarding the boat, he turned and said some very important words. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba told the crowd, I am Khadim Rasul. He announced before he went into trials, I am Khadim Rasul. Put your hands up so I can pray for you. Put your hands up. Put your hands up so I can pray for you. He said, I will be back. Come on, man. The audacity. Everybody else that went never came back. He said, I am Khadim Rasul. I'm going to pray. I don't need you to pray for me to come back. I know who I am. I'm coming back. Unbelievable true stories. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said that while he, now, I gotta add some detail to the story. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was exiled 2 times by the French colonialists. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was exiled from Senegal twice. We are speaking of the first exile to Gabon. He was exiled to Gabon on the 18th of the month of Safar. He stayed in exile in Gabon for 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days. I don't believe that. I don't know if it was 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days. That's what they say. Allah knows best. But we know it was 7 years. I done heard people say 7 years, 7 months, 7 days, 7 minutes. Like, come on, Senegalese people. Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. We love the Sheikh. My Sheikh, one of my Sheikh, the first Sheikh who made me a Sheikh was Sri Modu Sek. The first Sheikh who gave me the station of being a Sheikh was Sri Modu Sek. And he must have known that I was, okay, I'm not going to tell on my previous story, but Sri Modu Sek, he used to say, the story of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is so amazing, you don't have to add stuff to it. He would even say, the Senegalese Moors are adding to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's story, like they might say something that it might not be 100% true, but they're telling it to make his story sound amazing. Sri Modu Sek used to say, the story of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is so amazing, you don't have to add nothing to it to make it amazing. So you don't have to add 7 months. You don't have to add 7 months and 7 days. 7 years is amazing. Because a lot okay, so wait. The first exile was to Gabon for 7 years. When Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba came back to Senegal at the end of 7 years, floods and crowds of people came to him to be his disciples and take the Shahada and Bayat with him. In Senegal, it said that non-Muslims, animists, people who were practicing just traditional African religion who didn't believe in Islam, when Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba came back alive, the animists in Senegal flocked to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. They said, if them French people could not kill him, if he came back to Senegal alive, this Islam he got is real. They came to him and took Shahada and Bayat in droves. People from other Sufi orders, Tijani, Qadiriya, Shadiliya, they came to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and took their Bayat with him. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba had enemies. I got enemies, a lot of enemies. I don't know how the song goes, but they play that in Philadelphia. You're going to hear that on the block. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba had a lot of enemies when he went into exile. Listen to this. While Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was in exile in Gabon, the other sheikhs and marabouts, a marabou is an African shaman that does, we might as well say magic is what you would call it, but we don't call it magic in West Africa. We call it science. The using of Quranic verses and the 5 elements to produce certain effects in nature is called science. We don't call that magic. But some would say it's Moorish. Alhamdulillah, Islam. So, while Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was in exile, the sheikhs and marabouts who were his enemies, they were using the Quran, prayers, and magic against the sheikh to prevent him from coming back to Senegal. Did you hear what I said? Many sheikhs who were losing their followers to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, when he was exiled by the French, they was like, woo, we pray he don't come back. Oh Allah, don't bring him back, we're done. If he come back and he's alive, we already were losing followers. If he come back, we're done. Everybody gonna leave us. They were praying against the sheikh, using the Holy Quran for him not to come back to Senegal. How do we know this? When he came back from exile 7 years later, one of those sheikhs who was working with the other ones came to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and confessed. He said, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, while you were in exile, me and some haters, no, astaghfirullah, me and some other sheikhs, we were using the Quran and praying against you so you couldn't come back to Senegal. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, you were using the Quran against me to prevent me from coming back? He said, yes, we were, Sheikh. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, I'm the owner of the power of the Quran. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, I'm the owner of this holy Quran. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, when I left Senegal, I took the power of the Quran with me. He said, you can't use the Quran against me because I'm the owner of the Quran and its power. He said, when I left Senegal, I took the power of the Quran with me. He said, when I came back to Senegal, I brought the Quran and its power back to Senegal. The first exile, 7 years. When he came back to Senegal, droves of people came to him. His following was beginning to be so large, the French military and government got scared and said, oh no. They said he's building an army to fight and kill us all and kick us out of the country. They said he must be amassing an army to fight jihad against us. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said in his writings, my only jihad is jihad or nafs against my lower character. He said, my war is for Allah. My weapon is love. But the French, in their mundane mental state, thinking that, oh no, we exiled him for 7 years, the Sheikh must be angry. He's amassing an army to fight against us in jihad. They only allowed him to stay in the country for 9 months. At the end of 9 months, the French were so scared, they exiled him to Gabon, to Mauritania. They exiled him again to Mauritania for 3 years. They exiled him to Mauritania for 3 years. Now, he came back after 3 years, but let me tell you, there's 2 types of assassination that governments use to destroy leaders. 2 types of assassination are used to destroy political leaders or spiritual leaders who are against the government. The first type of assassination is they just outright kill you. Assassination. The first exile to Gabon was for physical assassination. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, when I was in Gabon, they tried to kill me. According to the number of verses in Surah Al-Baqarah, there's 286 verses in that 2nd chapter. He said they tried to physically kill me 286 times while he was in Gabon. We'll come back and tell some of the ways they tried to kill him in just a minute while he was in exile. The second type of assassination is character assassination. If they can't kill you physically, they will assassinate your character, just like there's been so many character assassinations of Black leaders in America, it's a shame. Just about anyone who had some type of power, I'm not gonna say just about, any Asiatic person who got some type of power in America, they either assassinated you physically or they did character assassination and assassinated your character. Over and over again. The exile to Gabon, remember, was for physical assassination. Cheikh Sufi, are you telling me the exile to Mauritania was for character assassination? Yes, they wanted to assassinate his character. How? In Mauritania, the French were saying, okay, in Mauritania at that time, Mauritania was the spiritual center of Sufi masters and sheikhs in West Africa at that time who were of Arab descent. Peep game, as they say on the block. Mauritania was the center for Sufi masters from around the world. Qadiriya, Shadiliya, Tijani, all these Sufi orders, their highest masters were in Mauritania, and they were Arabs. Some of them were descendants of the Prophet Muhammad, salam. So the French, in their imbecile thinking, had the idea that if we send Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba to Mauritania, he will be overshadowed by the power of the Arab sheikhs there, and this will diminish his popularity because they will find sheikhs more powerful than him in Mauritania. It ain't work like that. When Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba went to Mauritania, the sheikhs came to test him and his powers. My Sheikh, Shereen Salihu, said when Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was in Mauritania, listen to this. Shereen Salihu said, and this is for the sheikhs in our order, so that when you have a chance to tell this story, you can add some of the details that I'm sharing that I learned. I learned these details from Sheikh Abdullah Farmi, mouth to ear. He told me these stories over and over again on my visits to Tuba in 1997, 98, 99, way back in the beginning of the story. I heard these teachings from Sheikh Abdullah Farmi. I'm teaching them as I got them from him. He told me that Shereen Salihu told him when Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was in Mauritania, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba did miracles of such a high level that he would not do in Senegal because the people would have gotten confused and said, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is Allah. Farmi said the miracles he did in Mauritania to show his power to the sheikhs was a different level because the sheikhs in the Sufi orders would see these miracles as a sign of the power of Allah working through the sheikh and not say that the sheikh was Allah. So he was in Gabon for 7 years, and he was in Mauritania for 3 years. I think this is enough to put in your mind the importance of what we are celebrating, why we are celebrating Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's exile in Magal. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, wherever you are on the planet Earth, celebrate my day of exile by sacrificing from a chicken to a camel. I know the vegetarians are like, wait a minute, the Sheikh is asking people to sacrifice an animal. Our Sufi order is African. In African spiritual traditions, there will be some animal sacrifice. Sorry, we love all vegetarians, but in Africa, they're gonna sacrifice some animals. That's just how we get down in Africa. So the Sheikh said to sacrifice from a chicken to a camel and cook food and give it away to people for free, feed everybody on his day, was the #1 order. Sacrifice a chicken to a camel, a chicken to a sheep, to a cow, to a camel, and feed people on his day to Magal to glorify Allah. 3 recommendations for the Magal. And the second one is really more than 1, sacrifice an animal, feed people, regardless of race or religion. 2, read from the Holy Quran, read qasidas and make zikr. 3, someone has to give a talk of what they are thankful to Allah for on that day. Look at this. Sheikh Bamba is saying, 1, feed people on his day. 2, increase your worship of Allah and reading Quran on that day. 3, give a talk of why you are thankful to Allah on his day. These are the recommendations of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba for the celebration of his Magal. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. For us, it's our celebration of the victory of Qadim Rasul over the tests and trials of the French army, and of him reaching that station that we celebrate of Qadim Rasul, the worker and servant of the Rasul, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Does anybody have any questions about this? I think I used to say, if somebody can't say what they got to say in less than an hour, they don't know what they're talking about. So I think we've talked for about an hour. So we want to ask, oh, well, ooh, there's a lot of comments in the chat. Hold up. Second exile, 3 years. First exile, 7 years. Yeah. The obligation to take the bayat with the Tuba of the time, most definitely. And a Qadim Rasul. I am Qadim Rasul. Oh yeah, Islam. Our Moorish brothers in Virginia are feeding the community today. Islamism. Yep. Oh man, that's beautiful, Morris. All praises due to Allah for the binary stars, Corey and Carrie, Allendale, L, Serene Muntaka, and Murtada in Newport News, Tuba, Virginia. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam, Habibi. Ah, Brother Shaheed.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa
Beloved
alaikum
Sheikh.
salam. What's the good news?
Alhamdulillah, just love to you guys, to the Sheikh, and to the family of light. Before, if you want to feed someone, like, okay, let's say, can you go to like get the Biha chicken, or do you have to do it yourself?
This is a great question. Yes, you can go and buy halal chicken and give it to homeless people or people at the gas station. You can buy halal chicken and give it to your family. Yes, that's a great idea. Listen, for those of you in different communities, it's recommended to cook food and give it away tomorrow. Please, you will not regret it. Cook food, give it away to people in need, or cook food and feed your family. Have a dinner tomorrow, and your intention is, I'm cooking this dinner for my family, or I'm buying this food to give the people to celebrate the Magal of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. The intention is important. Do this in your communities wherever you are. Brother Shaheed, what city are you? Where are you at right now?
I'm back home in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Alhamdulillah. So yes, bring the light of the Magal to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Listen, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba says some incredible things about his disciples. We know that the holy city of Tuba is in Senegal. But Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, listen to this, please. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba has said, wherever Brother Ali and Abdul Aziz in Europe, wherever they are, that place becomes Tuba. Why? Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, wherever my true disciples are, that place becomes Tuba. So wherever we are, if we're linked to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, and we are Murid Sadiq, we are true disciples of the Sheikh, meaning we have the 8 qualities of a true disciple. If you didn't get to watch the video, we have at least 2 videos on YouTube explaining the 8 principles of a true disciple. The first principle of a true disciple is love for the Sheikh, love for the teacher. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba says when a disciple has true love for the Sheikh, the first quality, the other 7 qualities of a true disciple will come. So wherever we are as true disciples of the Sheikh, the blessings of that city of Tuba are with us where we live and in our communities. So yes, celebrate this Magal wherever you are on the planet by cooking food, feeding your families, cook food and take it and give it to someone who needs it in honor of the celebration of the Magal of Tuba, and you are bringing the blessings of the holy city of Tuba to your communities. All right? Great question. Any other questions or comments? Yes, yes.
So when they sent the Sheikh to Mauritania, against to put him up against these the Sheikhs over there, the Arabs, when they came to visit him, was that afterwards? Like the same Sheikh that the French tried to put up against him, they end up coming to Senegal to learn from him?
Oh, he asked did the Sheikhs from Mauritania end up coming to Senegal to learn from him. The Sheikhs in Mauritania, they all took their bayat and pledged allegiance to be disciples of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Now, I'm glad you brought this part up. When Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba went to Mauritania and did some of the miracles, let me tell you one of the miracles that Farmi told me Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba performed in Mauritania that is unbelievable. There was a Sufi master in Mauritania that lived at the grave of his Sheikh. Year after year, he just took care of the maqam, the grave of his Sheikh. He never left the grave of his Sheikh. This Sufi master, when he found out Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was in Mauritania, he left his Sheikh's grave to go and see Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. This is Abdullah Farmi telling me this story. Sheikh Abdullah Farmi told me that when the Sheikh came to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, matter of fact, Farmi had a book. There's a book in Senegal that's at least this thick. The Sheikhs in Mauritania wrote basically a 300-something page encyclopedia listing miracles of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba on paper. The Mauritanian Sheikhs wrote down what they saw in the book is over 300 pages. Farmi used to tell me the stories out of the book from Arabic, and I was like, Farmi, we're not putting this in English because people in America is not going to believe none of this shit. I didn't say that, but the stuff that's in that book that the Mauritanians said, we saw Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba do this. We saw, you ain't gonna believe. One of the miracles was Sheikh Farmi told me that Sheikh who came from his grave to see Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba came to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and said, I just want one blessing from you, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, what do you want? He said, I just want to see my Sheikh and I want to talk to my Sheikh. This is what he told Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, you want to see and talk to your Sheikh? The man said, yes. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba put his hand out like this with his sleeves and told the man, the Sheikh, put your face in my sleeve and talk to him. Eyewitness account said the Sheikh put his Sheikh in Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's sleeve. They started crying. They heard him talking to his Sheikh. Cheikh Sufi, you believe all this stuff? Yes, I do. They heard him talking to his Sheikh, crying. He said, Assalamu alaikum to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, went back to his went back to his grave. You know what? I'm gonna tell all of y'all some of my personal business. You know why whatever they tell me about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, I believe it. Do you know why? Yes, I have iman, I have faith. When I went to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba in 1996, my first trip to Senegal, my mom had left her body. I'm gonna tell my personal business, who cares? My mom left her body my mom and dad left their bodies about 1993 before I went to Senegal. May Allah increase their light. When I went to Senegal in 1996, yeah, I was a little heartbroken because my mom had left her body. She left her body about 3 years before. When I went to Tuba, they were telling me all these powers and stories about what Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba can do. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba did this, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba did that. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba could fly through the air. He could become invisible. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba wouldn't burn in fire. Poison couldn't kill him. They shot bullets at Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. The bullets went through Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and killed all the soldiers that were surrounding him while he was in Gabon. I heard all these stories and I was like, all right, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, if you got all these powers, I gave the Sheikh a test. That night in the house of Sheikh Beto Chun, Deda Jeff Chun, and General Tamawa and Tuba, I said to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, I looked at his picture, I said, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, I said, if you got all these powers that people say you got, I want to see my mama. That was my test. You did all these miracles for everybody else. My mama left, my mama died, so to speak. I want to see my mama if you got all these powers. That night, I went to sleep. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba came in my dream holding my mother's hand, and they were both smiling at me. When I saw my mama smiling at me, holding the Sheikh hand, I said, I don't care what they say about him, I'm gonna believe it. Done, no more doubt. Anybody who can bring your mama from the grave to see you and smile at you, if you doubt that, master, you's a fool. Won't he do it? Ain't that what they say? Won't he do it? So, whatever they tell me about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, except for 7 hours, 7 days, and 7 minutes, I use my rational. If it's something unrational, I say no. But if it's a miracle, I say, yeah, he did that. So Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba did so many miracles that the people in Mauritania have a book. Sheikh Farmi still has the book of miracles. Anybody who go to Tuba, you want to hear some far out Batman and Robin, Matrix, sci-fi stories of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, we can read from the book and you can say, oh my goodness. So any other questions or comments?
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam, beloved.
So, you know, you taught us a bit today about the physical Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, his physical exile. My question is, can you give us a little bit about the cosmic Ahmadou Bamba and what the cosmic or metaphysical significance is of these physical movements, the yin and the yang, the zahir, the batin? I hope that makes sense, Sheikh.
Yeah, this is a question, and thank Allah for the wilayat. Thank Allah for the unveilings. Sometimes when people ask me a question, I don't know the answer. But I don't want to say, but because of what Allah has given the Sheikh, if someone asks me a question, I don't know the answer, there's generally an unveiling and I see the answer. I did not know the answer to this question until you ask it. The exile of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba cosmically, metaphysically, and spiritually is represented by all of us souls who were born outside of Senegal. We were exiled from that holy place of Tuba, we live in the West or we live in Europe as the other disciples in Europe who are on the call live in Europe. We're exiled from that physical place of Tuba, Senegal, and we go through tests and trials in these places so that we can get to what we call Ensign Camille. His exile physically is a representation of all of his disciples who are not in the city of Tuba, exiled in America, going through tests and trials to reach our stations of perfection.
It's like it's a global lost and found nation.
Because Sheikh Bamba got thousands of people from Europe who are, Sheikh Bamba got thousands of disciples in France, Europe, Italy, Spain, and Germany. Not in the holy city of Tuba, but spiritually there in exile. Sheikh Ibn Fall says, America a Murid. Sheikh Ibn Fall said the people in America are Murids. So we are under that proclamation of Sheikh Ibn Fall, America a Murid. We are Murid in America who are exiled from the physical place of Tuba, going through spiritual trials to overcome the Nafs, Hawa, Dunya, and Shaitan, because we must become perfected beings. As the Prophet Muhammad says, I came to perfect the character of mankind. We're doing 1,000 Bismillah Rahman Rahim at night, 1,000 Bismillah Rahman Rahim in the morning to perfect our character. We're reciting the weird of the butterfly, the cane of the wisdom to perfect our character. We're reciting Sallallahu Ala Muhammad 957 times to perfect our character. We're reading these qasides of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba to perfect our character. We're reading verses in Quran to perfect our character. We're cooking food and feeding people tomorrow to perfect our character, my brother. So this is an incredible question. The exile of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is representative of the so-called fall of man from heaven to earth, and our exile from the physical place of Tuba and the tests and trials we're going to go through. Incredible question.
Ameen. I've got one more follow-up with that, Sheikh.
Yes.
Would you say that striving to follow the example, the way, the essence of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba in and of itself is equal to following the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad alaihi wasallam?
Oh, yeah. If we follow what Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is giving us, we speak of Fanafi Sheikh. The Sheikh should be Fanafi Rasul in the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. So if we're following the way of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, I found the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad covered in sand and dust. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, I removed this dust and sand from the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad, and he said, I put my feet exactly in the places that Muhammad put his feet. He said, I'm bringing the original Islam of Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salam, but it looks like a Sufi order. So yes, if we're following the model, the pathway, the teachings of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, we are in fact following the prophetic model of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam, because you can believe and know for a fact that Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was Fanafi Rasul. He was extinct in the station of Nur Muhammad alayhi salam. Yes.
And one last aspect of that, Sheikh, and I'll let other people talk. I apologize. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for giving me the chance to ask these questions. Following the path of Sheikh Ibra Fall, would that be equivalent in some way of following the walayat of Imam Ali, the holder of, is almost every Sufi order after Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad alayhi wasallam, is Imam Ali, the organizer of those teachings. And I kind of see a archetypal pattern with Sheikh Ibrahim.
Sheikh Rahim Ba from the baseline is good. You know, the brother is giving all of us a high teaching that is really for inner circle. But since he has spoken on it today, we will say that the light of Prophet Muhammad salam is the same light of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. And the light of Sayyidina Ali is the exact same light as the light of Sheikh Ibrahim. It's the same being, the same archetype manifesting in Mecca and Medina was manifest in Tuba. The Prophet Muhammad salam says that I am the city of knowledge and Ali is my gate. Peace be upon Ali and the Prophet. Prophet Muhammad salam says, I'm the city of knowledge, and the way to access this city is Ali. Ali is the gate to the city of the knowledge of Prophet Muhammad salam. Sheikh Ibrahim is called Babul Muridin, the doorway of the Murid path. Just as Ali was the gate and doorway to the Prophet Muhammad salam, Sheikh Ibrahim is the Babul Muridin. Babul Muridin means he's the doorway of the Murid to reach the destination of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Esoterically, we say Sheikh Ibrahim is the pathway to reach Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, and Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is actually a destination that we're trying to achieve and reach while in the human form. That destination of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is what we call Insan Kamil. Insan Kamil, the perfect being. I have a very short book on the station of Insan Kamil. It's very likely we may begin to teach this book of Insan Kamil. I got so much trouble on my mind, refuse to lose. Here's your ticket, here the Sufi get wicked. That's Chuck D and Public Enemy. I got so many teachings on my mind, I have to organize what to teach next. We have to teach Imam Ghazali's book, Disciplining the Soul. We have to teach that. We have to teach Imam Ghazali's book, The Alchemy of Happiness. We're going to teach The Alchemy of Happiness next month in a 3-day retreat in DC. We have to teach that. We have to teach Pir Zia's new book called Immortality. The Sheikh Pir Zia gave me a book called Immortality that is sayings of his grandfather, Hazrat Inayat Khan, about the soul and the journey to Allah on the plane of the soul. You think I ain't gonna, I said, Pir Zia, you know I'm gonna teach this book to people in America once I read it. I told him, I said, this book, we gotta teach, so I gotta teach that book on immortality. We have to teach the doctrine of perfect man, Insan Kamil. We have to teach that book. So coming up, we have to teach an Arabic class. We got to teach another Arabic class very soon. We have to teach a Wolof class so people can learn to speak Wolof. There's so much teaching that must be given. I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is Qadim Rasul, and if I have any station, I am the teacher. I don't do much anything good. I'll be the first to say, I'm not good at nothing. The only thing I'm good at is praying and teaching. I know I can pray, and I know Allah gave me the gift of teaching. If I have any title, I am the teacher of this pathway. Even my haters The haters say, we don't like that MF, but damn, man, he can teach some shit, though. We don't like Cheikh Sufi, but man, his teachings, we were gifted by Allah with being the teacher. The first sheikh to tell me I was the teacher, Sheikh Hassan Sise, the great Tijani sheikh from Medina by Nas Kaulak. When I went to see, I'm greedy. I'm a disciple of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, but I believe the Tijani Tariqa has the secret of Salatul Fati. I'm telling all my business. And let's just calm down. Let's just say while I was in Senegal some time ago, and Sheikh Hassan Sise was still alive in the city of Medina by Kaulak, yes, I went to him and took the Tijani Weird and Tariqa from Sheikh Hassan Sise, the great master from Medina Bay. Sheikh Hassan Sise took a liking to me, put me in the car with me, just him and his chauffeur. He rode me through the Tijani city, talked to me, and he said to me, you are the teacher. I said, huh? He called me the teacher. He said, you are the teacher. I accept that. Anything the Wali and the Saint says, when he said, you are the teacher, he said, when people come from other countries, I always give them a name so that I can remember who they are. When I told him what I was doing and how I was working for Islam, he looked at me and said, you are the teacher. We accept that. So I tell you today, I don't know if I can do anything good. I know I can read these prayers. I know I can do some zikr. And I know for a fact, I can teach this way to anyone that has ears to listen, eyes to see, and the veil has been removed from their heart. We got this. We can teach. Put me in the game, coach. I can teach this till the wheels fall off this. Excuse my language. Any other questions or comments?
We all benefit greatly, Sheikh, from your excellent teaching. I think I can speak for everybody. We're so happy to have you as our teacher and our guide, and alhamdulillah.
If I leave the body, whenever I leave the body, you ain't gonna have to say he was the Sheikh. Only thing I want people to say about me is he was the teacher. He taught us this. I don't need nobody to say I'm the Sheikh. So what? But I will accept the station of being the teacher. I'm the one who's teaching the new Sheikhs. Stop for Allah, keep your ego out of it. But we're teaching the Sheikhs to be Sheikhs by giving them, you ain't never seen a person come, the practices that I'm giving, stop for Allah for any ego, go somewhere else. I teach too many practices. That's not norm. It's not normal. I have so many practices coming. Normally, you go to the Sufi order, the Sheikh, he gave you 1, 2, or 3 practices. I be getting floods from the unseen world. Y'all forgive me. Oh, I meant to tell everybody today, listen, new disciples, don't pay attention to me when I give new practices, please. New disciples, all you have to do is the weird of the butterfly every day, do the cane of wisdom every day, read a stock for Labihi Kasad every day, try to read Sindidi and Ya Rahman every day, do some Bismillah Rahman Rahim and Sallallahu Alaihi Muhammad every day. Don't try to take the smorgasbord of Cheikh Sufi. The practices that I'm giving is not for you. They're for disciples who ain't even here yet. What I'm giving is for people who ain't even here yet. I just gave Ya Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam 644 times. I gave that because I went into that verse in the Qasida of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. It came off the page. I started doing the weird of it. Maybe I did it 1,000 times. Maybe I didn't. But I gave it to people to do. The practices that I'm giving are stations that I'm experiencing on my journey. I just give it to people so that they can see where I'm at. But I don't expect you to do all these practices. You can't go to the buffet and eat the General Tso's chicken, the baked chicken, the broccoli and shrimp, and the fish. You can't eat at the buffet. Don't try to eat at the Cheikh Sufi buffet. You can't do it. Take 1 or 2 practices and do that, please. I thought about that this morning. I was like, wait a minute, man, you're giving these people too much. Simplicity is the key. Make your 5 prayers. Make your wudu. A master is a master of the basics. Thank you, Jedi Kofi. We'll be in North Philly celebrating the Magal of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. If you're anywhere in the area, Jedi Kofi will be here at 1344 North York Street, celebrating the Magal of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba in Tuba, Philadelphia. Simplicity is key. Do the basics. The advance will follow. I mean, exactly. Do the basics. I'm glad he brought that up. Don't try to do everything that I'm giving you. Basics. Salatul Fatih, memorize it. Everyone should memorize the 4 short surahs. You must memorize Al-Fatiha. You must memorize Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Qul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq, Qul A'udhu Birabbin Nas. You really want to add some sauce to it? Mess around and memorize Ayatul Kursi. Memorize Salatul Fatih. I gave Salatul Tunjina. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa biha min jamil wali wala faq wa taqdilna biha jamil hajat wa tutahhirna biha min jamil sayyat wa tarhamna biha innaka ala darajat wa tublighna biha aksal gayat min jamil karat suriyat wa ba'd innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir. Salatul Tunjina, heavenly, but take your time. All right, I'm a little bit excited. We're taking a journey to the grave of the great Sheikh Ba'al-Mahayadeen today, inshallah. We have about 7 disciples here in Philly with us who came from out of town. We make our intention to go to the Mazar of the great Sheikh Ba'al-Mahayadeen after class. Any other questions or comments? This is my favorite topic.
Bismillah, Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Hui Ali. How are you doing in Europe? And Brother Abdul Aziz in Europe, how are you doing, beloved Habibi?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, everything is good. We are doing good. And thank you for this incredible teaching. This is really incredible. Sheikh, I just wanted to just expand on some miracle of Sheikh Ahmad Bamba, because I think it's really important, because all of us here read a lot of the Khasaid of Sheikh Ahmad Bamba, and always from Sering Abdullah Fahmi, as he said about just on the Khasaid, we should be proud, not for feeding the ego, but we should be proud to have Sheikh Ahmad Bamba with us, with the Khasaid, because this Khasaid was never being produced since how to say, since the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam until this time, because he said that the Mauritanian, even them, said that when they first read the Qasaid Mawahibun Nafi' and Jazbul Qulub, they all said that this is a linguistic challenge, even from them, because if any human being, since the Prophet Muhammad until today, has been able to write in such way, they should have done it. To say that it is impossible to write Qasaid like Sheikh Ahmad Bamba, because he uses some metrics, like they give example like 16 metrics, like even one poet that's name was Mu'ad ibn Ka'b. He was the poet of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He could use his 1 or 2 metric in his Qasaid. Sheikh Ahmad Bamba could use his 16 metric in every Qasaid. This is really, really huge, just for us to see when we read this Qasaid. This is really powerful verse that we are reading. I just wanted to add that, and then sorry to have taken sometimes, and jërëjëf sëriñ Tuba, jërëjëf sëriñ Tuba, jërëjëf sëriñ Tuba, and jërëjëf Cheikh Sufi Ba.
Sheikh Ali. You reminded me of a teaching. Sheikh Bamba said, even though poison couldn't kill him, he wouldn't burn in fire. They shot at him with bullets. They couldn't kill him. He said his greatest miracle was his qasides and his writings. Sheikh Bamba said, my greatest miracle is my qasides. Sheikh Bamba said, my writings came from the same place that the Holy Quran came from. Sheikh Bamba said, my writings came from the Kitab. The Holy Quran comes from a book in heaven. In the Quran of Mecca, Allah speaks of a book called the Kitab. The Kitab is what we call the mother of all the books. The Kitab, some people call it the Akashic Records. Some people call it the hidden tablet. Everything is written on this tablet of destiny, this Akashic Records. But in the Quran, this written record of everything is called the Kitab, the mother of the books. All of the holy books, the Torah, the original Injil, the Psalms and the Proverbs, not the New Testament, liar, liar, pants on fire, the Old Testament books of the Hebrews, we can say the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gitas of the Eastern traditions, and the Holy Quran. All of these holy books are in one book called the Kitab. And Sheikh Bamba said his writings are found in that Kitab. Sheikh Bamba said, I didn't write these qasides. He said, I brought them from the Kitab to earth. Whereas Sheikh Bamba would hear, Sheikh Bamba said, I heard the angels singing my qasides in heaven. Muhammad Nafi is being chanted by immortal youth in heaven. Where did they get that from? It was already there. So yes, his greatest writings are, his greatest miracles are his qasides. To read his qasides is a blessing. I'm going to read the Sindidi to close it. With every verse, I want you to say Ameen. Because we say Yallahu bin Mustafa Sindidi, Yallahu wa bil Khalilika Ibrahim, Yallahu. When you hear me read the verse and say Yallahu, we're asking you all to say Ameen. May Allah accept. Every verse in Sindidi is a prayer. Our beloved Sona Asugawan, the daughter of Sheikh Bamba, when you go to her grave, Sindidi is written on her grave. She used to read this every day. Many sheikhs in Senegal read this every day. Many disciples read this every day. We ask every disciple who can. If you cannot read Sindidi in the transliteration or Arabic, Allah speaks every language. Read it in English. Allah speaks English. Don't say, oh man, I can't read the prayer in Arabic. So what? You can't read Arabic. We were not born reading Arabic. You can read English, I hope. And work on the Arabic. So we read this in Didi for all of us. We ask you to say Ameen when you hear Yallahu. We read this for all of our families, for all those who are traveling, for our mothers, fathers, for our children. We read it to the angel Jibril, Mikael, Israfil, Azrael, Munkir, Nakir, Ridwan, Malik, Hamalat, the Arsh, Muqadibin. We read this for the angels, the 8 angels carrying the throne of Allah. We read it for Abu Bakr, Omar, Uthman, Ali, Ibrahim, Adam, Res Karni, Rabia, Adadawiya, Junaid al-Baghdadi. We read it for Sheikh Ibn Fall, Serene Sayu, Serene Follow, Sheikh Abdul Ahad, Sheikh Abdul Carter, Serene Muntaka, Sitting Sayu Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba Kadim Rasul for his mom, Sona, Mam Jara Buso, the mother of Sitting Follow, Sona Awa Buso, the mother of Sheikh Ibra Falls, Sona Mam Fati, Sona Saina Bujai, the mother of Sitting Sayu, Sona Mam Fati Jakati, for my mom, Lynette Renee Brown, and for the mother of everyone here. For the beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, for my friend Sayyidina Kidder, and for Sayyidina Isa. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa sallallahu, and for all the disciples who came to Tuba, Philadelphia. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa sallallahu Sayyidina Muhammadin wa sallam. Ya Allah bil Mustafa Sandidi Ya Allahu Amin wa bil Khalilika Ibrahim Ya Allahu Amin. Ya Allah bil Mustafa Sandidi Ya Allahu Amin wa bil Khalilika Ibrahim Ya Allahu Amin. Wabi Kalimika Musa Salihin Kadirin Wabi Shuaibin wa Ishmael Yallahu Wabi Sulaimana Yasai wa Zakaria Yahya Huda Yallahu Haruna Yushel Asin wa Adama Dawud Kifla Isa Luta Yallahu wa Yusufin wa Biasakin wa Gedihi Mina and Min Ruslin Laka Yallahu Wabil Malaiki Turantama Safatihim Jibrila Tumami Mikael Yallahu Wasahibi Nafi Safila Kabidi Arwil Kalaiki Asra Illa Yalahu Wabi Sahabati Tuma Aliaima Anmul Amilina Mina Ahbari Yalahu Wabi Sidiki Wabil Furuki Tamabi Zino Nani Tamabi Septani Yalahu Bimalakin Zamazaya Shafi'iyya Bi Hanifatin Ahmad al Mahmud Yalahu Mila wa Kalama Mapusi Tamabi Ashkalazim Wabil Kursi Yalahu Wabil Qur'ani Wabil Kasatinin Tuba Vitoriati Tumabi Mada Wudu Jabihi Ruhu Yalahu Walik Salati wa Taslim Yalahu wa Ali Wasabi wa Lazwaji Yalahu wa Asbilana Layna Rabia Fiatan Muhammad Kastafi Danani Yalahu wa Aftalana Kula Babin Kunta Fatiyahu Li Salihina Min Al Kairati Yalahu Wasluk Binana Dadu Sinavina Zalalan Runa wa Shaitan Yalahu wa Kamilan Kulamanan Hu wa Naksuduhu wa Havana Kulamanaksuru Yalahu Warulana Kulazi Sabin was the Harani, Yasadan Kulazi Hasari, Yalahu, Tawalana, Umrana, Sailana, Badana, Wahamana Rusta, Watafiki Yalahu, Wadamiran Kula, then to Rubina, Kalau Sulana, Yalahu, Yalahu, Wadamiran Kula, then to Rubina, Kablau Sulana, Yalahu, Yalahu, Wakunana, Simem Kulimana, Katimana, Nami, Malaya, Dara, Yalahu. Wafatina Hatim, Magusatim, Hani, the little things that team of Fakri, Allahu, Ihanatin, Galatin, Mazilatin, Galabin, Wafakatina, Tashin, Wajui, Allahu, Wafitnatin, Waba, Hakima, Garakin, Wabakima, Sarakin, Wakadi, Allahu, Harin, Wabardin, Wanabin, Kurbatin, Nikamin, Aladatin, Adatin, Wagami, Allahu, Wahamatin, Wakata, Yadalatin, Zalalin, Masu, Kalvitum, Kasfi, Allahu. Wagula team Masurin Latin Madadin Tamaz Zamani Manuksani Yalahu. Wamin Kabihati Dunyan Tamakira team Wamin Fudui Hima Yalahu Yalahu. Wamin Kabihati Dunyan Tamakira team Wamin Fudui Hima Yalahu Yalahu. Yamangala Kuli Shan Kadino Allah Asutawa Bil Kori Yalahu. Ini Sautaka Kabankasian Mutawati and Wamankasina Nafi Yalahu. Watobatan Kubilat Namik Natin Rufiat Mazotatin Suluhat Bidin Yalahu. Wakun Muizanami Shasati Masharafami Washoda in Yalahu. Washarisadim Shadakakin Sahimu Matini Himalawati Sumi Yalahu. Ini Jautakafi Daraniati Kati his Nanasin and Vakuma Jaya Lalahu. Balata Kilni Lana Siba Lika Kumuzibani Etumaruka Yalahu. Wajala Sani Wakabi Zakari Kama Anindama Matima Alimani Yalahu. Tabit Yakini Yafika Bilawas Within Hatai Belakaka Haka Yalahu. Walizalo Motara Hatanu Mahratan min Kulisidinu Kabi Naka Yalahu. Wakasri Altisma Hituruhu Perakani Pikabli Tukri Hudura Yalahu. Wakuna Siria Nisi Namadafanu Dismi Pasir to Wahidan Tamaha Yalahu. Latama Mana Maima Kadra Uni Badakrian Kulama Akshahu Yalahu. Wanajini Wajamu Cinema and Wanaji Walikati Amin Yalahu. Wafilana Laha was Rumai Bana, which is Nabia Filali Yalahu. And Hadida was not Hamana from Alanasi Wakawa and Tobaru Yalahu. ببارك ما كبر كلها وزر من كروبين وكافين نجي له لا تعتبرها بما ليست بقدرة لا تلقي بداها فيك يا له وأسقنا معها مما قاتل من تاتو من جميع الكاكي يا له من كان يشهد ذاك يسكو ذاك فريم يسر من يشاك يا له محمد مسكال كاري دين لجنو كريم أشياء له عليه الصلاة والسلام دائما أبدا ومن كل يوم دين يا له محمد مسكال كاري دين لجنو كريم أشياء له عليه الصلاة والسلام دائما أبدا ومن كل يوم دين يا له سبحان ربك رب العزة ما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Barker Sheikh Rafal, 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 Barker Sheikh Rafal. For those of us who are reading Arabic, please read the Surah to Yasin tomorrow morning on the Magal. If you're reading Arabic, please read Surah to Yasin as a gift to Sheikh Ahmadou tomorrow morning. Barker Sheikh Rafal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. The meeting is adjourned. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Yasin sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa Qur'an al-Hakim. Innaka lamina mursalin ala siratin mustaqim tanzil al-aziz rahim. Litundira kama ma undira bahum fahum ghafilun. لقد حقق قالوا على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فيختلفهم مقمهم وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سادا ومن خلفهم سادا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذروا من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشروا بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء نسيناه بإمام مبين صلى الله على محمد واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب قرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فأزازنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم لا مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لا مرسلون وما علينا إلا بلاغ المبين صلى الله على محمد قالوا إن أرسلنا بكم لن تهتدون لجعلنكم لن يمسنكم من عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أن تكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا استغفر الله اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الله فضرني وإليه ترجعون أتخذوا من دونه آلهة إذ الرحمن بدر تغني شفاعتهم شيئا لا ينقذون إني إلا في ضلال مبين صلى الله على محمد إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل كل جنة كلا يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة وهيدة فإذا هم كامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كما أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لام جميل لدينا مطرون وآيات اللهم أرض مينة وآيات اللهم أرض مينة أحييناها أغرزنا منها هبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنة من نخل وناب وفرجنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملت أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض من أنفسهم مما لا يعلمون وآية اللهم الليل نسلك منه نهارا فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى أدى كالرجل القديم والشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر والليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية اللهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشؤون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشاء ندركهم فلا صدق لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتعا إلى حين وإذا كلاله متاكوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا كلالهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا ونتموا من لو يشاء الله الأمر إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين صلى الله على محمد ويقولون متى هذا وعد إن كنتم صادقين وينظرون إلى سيئة وهيدة تقودهم وهم يكيسمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن صدق المرسلون إن كانت إلى سيئة وهيدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا مطرون 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 فاليوم لا تظلمون نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ضلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم 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 وامتازوا اليوم أيها المسلمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم لا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين صلى الله على محمد وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا فلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسكناهم على مكانتهم فمساتوا مديا لا يرجعون ومن ومنهم نكيس في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه شرا وما ينبغي له إن هو ذكر وقرآن مبين صلى الله عليه محمد لينذر من كان حيا ويخاف على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا من فهم لها مالكون وظللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم منها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دونه آلهة واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لا هم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند مضطرون ولا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يروا إنسانا خلق له من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين صلى الله على محمد وضرب لنا مثلا الناس خلقه كلام يزام وهي رامين كل يحييها الذي ينشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعلكم من الشجرة نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق كمثلهم بل هو خلق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن صلى الله على محمد. Ya Allah, answer the prayers and du'as of all of those who make dua after this kun. Please make a dua for yourself. If you are hearing this, pray for something you want Allah to bless you with. Right now, Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatihi lima hulika wa khatimi lima sabaqa nasr al-haq bil-haq wa hadi ila siratika mustaqim ala alihi ka qadri wa maqdari. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatihi lima hulika wa khatimi lima sabaqa nasr al-haq bil-haq wa hadi ila siratika mustaqim wa ala alihi ka qadri wa maqdari. Fayakun fasabhanna alladhi bi yadihi malakutu kulli shay'in wa ilayhi turja'un. Kaf ha yain sad Kufitu kula darani yalahu bi siri la ilaha illallah abli muradiya kama wa bi siri la ilaha illallah yasir ya usra kama wa bi siri la ilaha illallah Allah nabi mustafa yalahu sallallahu la ilaha illallah salatan mugni bislam la bi siri la ilaha illallah subhana rabbika rabbil izzati ma yasifun wa salamun ala mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Box inside you, 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 box inside you. Marcus inside. One last question. We received an email from a brother, I think his name was Jamil. We received an email from him today. We invited him to class. He is wanting to join the Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba Sufi School. If you made it to class today and you want to take your Shahada and initiation bayat into the school, please make yourself known. If not, alhamdulillah, we are happy to offer this to anybody else who is here who has not given their allegiance and bayat and Shahada to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. With that, we say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum salam.
Walaikum assalam.
Walaikum assalam. More love, more light.
Wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam.
Walaikum salam.